What is good, everybody? Happy Wednesday evening. Hope all is well with you. Please do me a favor, hit that like button. Hit that like button as soon as you see it. Click it. Do what you got to do. Also, if you have not subscribed, please consider subscribing and click that bell so you get notifications when we go live. That video will pop up on your phone, on your device, and let you know that we are going in. So, listen, we got a fun show tonight. Fun show. All right, we're doing something new here. We're going to be giving out some Scoopies tonight, some Scoopie awards. Hilarious. It's going to be fun, man. But listen, these kids get evaluated every snap, every game, get graded out champions or not champions. They're evaluated immediately, every day, every week. So why can't we evaluate and give out awards, after the first bye week? So that's what we're going to do. Shoot, freaking Herb Street gives out awards before the season starts. So we're going to give out some Scoopies. And your boy Nevada Buck finally watched a certain movie, and he's going to give his review. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. In the meantime, remember your super chats help to go towards the Pay It Forward, which is our military first responders. We're going to look out for them because they look out for us. Y'all know the drill. Nevada, what is up, sir? How are you feeling?
Oh, I'm so excited. The Scoopie Awards, it's finally that day, and I've just been all excited all day getting ready for the this big award show. The limos have been pulling up, people walking the red carpet there. We got the very lights kind of going out there and kind of doing it. So yeah, this is a big one. I mean, forget the Emmys, the ESPYs, all that stuff, man. The Scoopies is definitely going to be one for the books. So I'm excited. Just so you guys understand the format. I am doing the categories of Scoopies, and B Moses is giving instantaneous answers. So we're giving, these are not rehearsed. He does not know the categories. We're going to go here, and we're just going to go for. I want instantaneous answers. Some of will be in kind of a bullet. We're just going to go rapid fire for them. Other ones we'll debate. We can go back and forth. But the Scoopies clearly going to be an annual event for us, and we'll do it every year on the first bye week. And I'm so excited. I can't even stand myself. And I am ready with a movie review. I do have a movie
Yes.
review of Back to the Future Part Two
Let's
that
go.
was watched by Nevada Buck yesterday. So I've got a complete review ready for that at the end of the show. But yes, very, very excited.
I think we shamed him. We successfully shamed him, chat. Stilly Matt, what's up, man? I think your last comment yesterday really just took him over
Oh,
the
it
edge.
cut like a knife, man. It cut like a knife. I was like, I am not taking that, man. I'm sitting down right now, got my little Apple TV thing out there. Like, oh, back to the okay, just click, buy the movie, 3.99. Click, let's go do this. Let's just watch this. So it got done.
Yes. So now, listen. After this review, he still has another one to watch. So
Clearly.
this will continue. So this is just one step, okay? So, but I'm excited about it, and nobody's more excited about the Scoopies than Ryan Day. He has his Scoopie in hand, and look at him. He's just, they like me. They really like me. So, you know, I'm excited. Again, some of the young heads ain't gonna get that reference, but yes, we are excited, and we're gonna get to it. So basically, listen, y'all. We know, because I'm saying this, Nevada, because even on my page, on my socials, I'll post like Julian saying stats, or I'll post something, and then you get the people to come in like, it's only been 3 games. We know that. But so far, these awards apply to what we've seen so far. Okay. Long season to go. But right now, this is what this applies to. So, hey, listen, let's get it going, man. Let's get it going.
All right, so we're gonna go with our first Scoopy category here. We're gonna go with an easy one for B Moses right now. I want you to, who is your outstanding freshman in this class here? The outstanding freshman in this class for the 2025 football season. Who's your outstanding freshman? Who's B Moses? Who gets the nod from B Moses?
I mean, so I was immediately going to say a certain name, but no, I'm going to have to. It's Bo Jackson. It's Bo Jackson. It's Bo Jackson. I have to give it to Bo Jackson. He has made the most impact as a true freshman so far. And then not only that, his impact, I think we're excited about the potential impact increasing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we went from watching our running backs like, man, they got to get their footing. They're okay right now to, whoa, this running game could be a killer down the road. So I have to go with Bo Jackson as my guy for the Scoopie. He definitely gets the Scoopie. What say you?
Well, I mean, it depends on if we're going to the category. If it's freshman eligibility, then obviously that brings other people into the discussion right there. If we're talking
Yeah,
about freshmen, I think Bo Jackson or Devin Sanchez definitely
I was thinking
guys.
about
But
Sanchez too. Yeah,
yeah, he's a guy that's got some strong, making a strong case there. But I think Bo Jackson. I mean, Bo Jackson really has been one of the big surprise stories. I think of the offseason. I think if we're talking about um, what has been the guy that's kind of came. I won't say he came out of nowhere, but when preseason we felt we were pretty set at running back with James Peoples and CJ Donaldson, and frankly. I really thought Peoples was going to be the guy.
yeah,
I did. I think CJ Donaldson's okay, but to me, watching it, CJ was just the guy, and I'm trying to say all this stuff and not be insulting or Mr. Mean or anything else like that. But I really thought James Peoples was going to be like immediate high impact, like step in,
yeah,
wow, J.K. Dobbins, Antonio Pittman, whomever you want to pick out the terrific running backs that we've had, and a guy that's going to step in and immediately get yards for us in Gibbs and Gobs, and it's been a little tentative. Was
yeah,
better the last week, but that was Ohio U. But I'm hoping he can improve. But Bo Jackson has been outstanding since the minute he's set foot on the campus. He's been terrific for Ohio State. He's been a guy that they've been just waiting to get a medical clearance from, and once they were able to get it to him, they've been rolling. And now he's a guy that's taking almost first team types of reps. And when you talk to the guys around the Woody Hayes, it seems like Bo Jackson clearly is the guy. And I think Bo Jackson is a worthy. He is the officially. We'll put him down here in the hall. He's the officially the first Scoopie Award
first
winner
one.
will be Bo Jackson. So that's pretty exciting. I think. How do you think Bo's going to react to hearing that he got a Scoopie? Do you think this is going to kind of fire him up for the Washington game, or how do you think he'll respond?
Yeah, so I think what's going to happen is he's going to immediately he's going to scream with excitement and he's going to
Yeah.
pull his phone out to go on Twitter to respond. But then Coach Locke is going to smack the phone out of his hand. Son, focus, you ain't
Ah,
did nothing yet. And so
gotcha.
we're not going to be able to hear the response because of that, because Coach Locke don't play. But he'll be secretly excited about this, and we'll hear the whispers of the honor of being the first Scoopie Award recipient, which is prestigious. Okay,
Yeah. So very, very, very prestigious.
all right.
Okay, so second category that I'm going to go, what has been your most memorable play of the season so far? Most memorable play of the 2025 season for Bevo. What stands out to you as just kind of like a play that's like an hypothesis of the season, or something that's kind of just that's stood out to you as something notable that you recall? Scoopy number two.
This is good. This is good. I got a couple I'm batting around in my head. And this is tough because you got the Juggernaut Texas game, that big game that we were together and
Yes,
to
yes, we
watch,
were.
and then the Grambling Ohio game. Um, so far, I think I'm going to go with Jermaine Matthews interception.
Jermaine
Um,
Matthews intercepted. Very,
yeah,
very good.
yeah. In the stadium, it was still a close game, it was a tight game. Is Texas going to drive down the field finally? I mean, just to me, that play just really put the cherry on top of the defensive effort that day. It was just like, just when you thought the defense couldn't get any better, that happens. I mean, he breaks on the ball perfectly, and gets that pick. The crowd goes crazy, and so and then it also just showed me like, yeah, we're in good hands with our corners. Like we thought Jermaine Matthews was good, and we know Iggy was good. But yeah, these dudes are elite. So I'm gonna go with the Jermaine Matthews interception. He gets my Scoopie.
Wow. Again, a worthy note. I'm going to stick with the Texas game. I'm going to
Okay.
stick with the Texas game just because it's hard to give a Scoopy for Grambling or Ohio U, even though
Right.
those could be Scoopy worthy. But I'm going to go with the 4th and 1 run into the end zone with Nate Roberts leading the way on
Okay.
the blast there. Just because I feel like, you talk about pivotal plays in the season, and had we got stopped on that play, much
Ooh.
like Texas got stopped on their play,
Yeah.
could that game and dot 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 could the whole season be really different? And I think the answer maybe, yeah, it might be. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that
Yeah.
game certainly would have had a different feel to it if it was only a one-score game instead of a 14-0 game. And the fact that they brought in a freshman tight end to play
To lead the way.
fullback to lead
Yeah.
the way on that. I just thought that was and for a Ryan Day team they've talked about, this stupid narrative about being soft and this and that and everything like that. And there was just nothing soft about that play. There's nothing soft about that play call. And put it back, put it in the back of the end zone, got the touchdown. I mean, because that really was the story of the game. Our ability to convert on 4th and short from the goal line, and their inability to convert from 4th and goal to the shoreline, and we won by 7 points. So that gets my Scoopy.
So here's my question, because listen, this is new. We are just going with the flow. So who gets the Scoopy? Does Brian Hartline get it? Does Nate Roberts get it? Does the O line get it? Or does CJ Donaldson get it?
I'm giving it to Nate Roberts. I'm giving
Nate
it to Nate
Roberts.
Rob.
Okay.
I'm giving it to
Okay.
Nate Roberts. I mean, he cleaned that house.
He did.
Like I could have rumbled in the end zone on that one right there at my advanced age. I think I could have got in there, and now he laid a heck of a block on that. But just the fact that they trusted him to be in that position,
Right.
that's a huge play. They trust him to put him in that particular spot, and you got to be a bad man to be the fullback on a goal line. You know what I'm saying? That's usually
Yeah.
when they bring in like the defensive lineman. That's when you bring in a Caden McDonald or something like
Right.
that to play fullback and do that. But they brought Nate Roberts in there. He cleared out the way, made a nice hole for CJ Donaldson, and he got in. So yeah, I'm gonna give it to Nate Roberts, and Nate Roberts
I
getting
like it.
his first career Scoopy as well. And again, this is probably an exciting time at the Roberts household. People are probably running around all excited or something like that. But I just want you guys to know that he earned it. He's a worthy recipient of Scoopy number 2, and he deserved it for sure.
Yeah, real quick, I do think that's notable, man. With how couple things with how deep this tight end room already is. Listen, y'all, this tight end room is deep with blockers, with pass catchers, all of that. But yet the true freshman comes in and clears the way. I mean, I just don't want people to lose the significance of that. It's one thing, Nevada, if the tight end room is light and we just need guys, we just need bodies, and they're just it's a room full of guys who just aren't that good. So the freshman has to come in and help. No, it's a loaded room, and they still trusted him to play the fullback in that I formation. And so great pick, Nevada. I agree with you on that.
Yeah, it was so unusual because I remember when they lined it up and we're like, Nate Roberts is there at fullback. I mean, it was just
Right.
like, holy guacamole, man. We had, that was something we did not have on our bingo card at the time. And,
At all.
I hadn't heard that through all camp or anything. So that clearly was something that they found that they dialed up and they liked. And, it was definitely Scoopy worthy. So I'm gonna go on to Scoopy number 3 right now. Who do you think has been the most impactful portal addition to Ohio
Hmm.
State? The most impactful portal addition in the 2025 class.
Okay, 2025. So not just on the roster,
Not on
but
the
this
roster.
this most recent
This
portal.
this most
Okay.
recent portal, yeah. Who does B Moses give his most impactful portal player?
Ooh. Ooh. I'm gonna have to go. My Scoopy Award is gonna go to Bo Atkinson.
Oh,
I'm
Atkinson,
I'm
number
going with
14.
yep. Number 14, Bo Atkinson. Even though first of all, he has a sack. I believe he has one sack, maybe one and a half. He's made some tackles for loss. He's been really solid. I mean, obviously he doesn't have 5 sacks yet, but he's difficult, and you can see him getting his footing. You can see him every game. He's just getting more and more disruptive. And so the other guy I was batting around was Claire, but I got to go with Atkinson. I think his impact has been a little better, a little more. If Claire, and listen, I'm not going to punish him forever for this, but you can't start out your career with a drop against Texas to end the drive and get a scoopy after 3 weeks. I mean, what you got to say about that? Is that too harsh?
I think B Moses, you're tough but fair. That's what they say about B Moses. Like you're tough but fair. And
Yeah.
I think in my Scoopy Award thing, I think Bo kind of edged it out as well. I think Bo is a guy that you think about all the consternation that we had over the offseason about the defensive line, and it's funny now because the defensive line is absolutely viewed as a strength, a team strength right now. And
Yeah.
you would not have believed that with all the amount of hand wringing and sobbing and rending of clothes that was going on about the lack
Right.
of depth and talent and whatever there was on the defensive line. So yeah, Bo, I wouldn't say he's been a leader on the defensive line, but he's certainly a guy, like you said. Yeah, he's starting to show it. You can see they're starting to trust him. He's starting to get more things. And would it surprise me to see Bo Atkinson at the end of the year with 10 sacks? No, wouldn't surprise me at all. I mean, I think he's a guy that he's going to continue on. He's going to get better. And I think he'll probably have one of these games where he breaks out, has multiple sacks kind of going forward. Um,
Yeah.
having said that, do I expect Max Clare to play a bigger role for the
Yeah.
Buckeyes going forward? 100%. Um, but yeah, you can't drop the first pass and still get a Scoopy is too coveted of an award to go to somebody who dropped the first pass that was thrown to him, unless you like followed up with like 5 touchdowns or something like that. But
Right.
yeah, no,
Right.
no, no, no Scoopy for you, Max Clare.
Yeah. Hang on, Scoopy. Hang on. It's coming, Claire. That
Oh,
was corny.
Demos was. Oh man, you need to give your writer an extra tip on that one right there. You're like, oh, that was good. That was good. That's a good. Gee, yeah.
Here all week,
Oh,
folks.
I love it, man. I love it. Okay, so next Scoopy award that we're gonna give is gonna be for your outstanding defensive player. Who has been your outstanding defense? If you just looked at the defense and were like, hey, a lot of competition there, but B, you got to pick one. The Scoopy cannot be split. There's no one
Uh,
A. There's no one A. There's no one B. There's no splitting the Scoopy. It's who gets the coveted Scoopy for best defensive
dang.
player 2025 in the bye
Man,
week.
this is tough. This is tougher than y'all think. Oh my goodness. I'm narrowing it down to 2 guys. Uh, all right. So the Scoopy Award goes to Arvell Reese. I have
Oh
to go with
wow.
Arvell
Wow.
Reese. I was
Wow.
going back and forth between him and Downs, but I mean, he's been sacking the court. He's been used, and even Patricia said this, Nevada, in the latest presser. He knows what he's doing, obviously. I mean, I'm stating the obvious, but I'm just saying that he said that quarterbacks and offenses they're looking at Reese to see what he's going to do. Where is he lined up? Where is he coming from? What's he going to do? I mean, he's sacking, he's tackle for lossing, he's stopping the running. I mean, he's even showed some decent, drop back pass coverage in his zone. I mean, he's doing it all. Caleb Downs obviously is the captain, he's the coach on the field, but Arvell Reese is that werewolf that just things up, disrupts, makes plays. I have to go with Reese. And Downs is incredible. That's a difficult thing, Nevada.
The Scoopy is never meant to be fair, man. It's a tough thing. You know what I'm saying with that? It's like,
Yeah.
I know you go with Arvil Reese. I know that I mean, it's kind of hating on Caleb Downs. You're kind of insulting Caleb Downs here with your pick of Arvil
Yeah,
Reese.
I
You know what
know.
I'm saying? So this is kind of so I'm gonna balance you out with your Caleb Downs hate, and I'm gonna pick Caleb Downs to get my Scoopy too, because I just can't. I don't want the Ohio State fan to turn on Caleb Downs, say that he's not Scoopy worthy and not any good, because I believe Caleb Downs is a good player. So unlike B Moses, I do believe Caleb Downs is a good player. No,
uh,
Caleb gets it for me just because he's that coach on the field. And I know
yeah.
that's a trade expression. That's a kind of a whatever you want to call it. but he really does line them up on the field. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
Like
Yeah.
he really does. He's calling the signals. And when you talk to the guys, when when I asked the question, because I wanted to know, I said, how in the world could Matt Patricia come in and put together this defense as quickly as he has and make it kind of the model for college football with 8 new starters, a new defensive coordinator, and do stuff that nobody else in college football is doing? How can he do that? And you know what the answer I got was Caleb Downs.
Yeah.
I got it all starts with Caleb Downs because if you have you need to have a guy who's a supercomputer out there on the field, just like Patricia is calling from the sideline, and can get everybody lined up. It instinctively knows where to go, knows where everybody else needs to go as well, and kind of do it. But Arvo Reese was a good pick. Arvo Reese was a good pick, but I'm gonna go with Caleb Downs to
That's
kind of
so
edge him
tough,
out.
man.
Yeah,
I'm
that was
I'm
tough.
second guessing my Scooby pick now based off. I mean, that's probably I would defy you to say that there's going to be a tougher, and maybe you'll prove me wrong, a tougher Scoopy decision
Yeah,
down the
yeah,
line. But we'll
that was a
see.
well, we're going to get the next category, so we'll find out who's been your outstanding offensive player. The offense, in some places, I mean, the offense has done enough to win, but I'm not sure
Yeah.
if how offensive they've been. But who is your outstanding offensive player for 2025? Who gets the Scoopy?
Am I going to surprise you, or am I going to go? All right, I'm going to surprise you,
Wow. Okay.
and the Scoopy Award goes to
Yes.
Carnell Tate. I'm
Wow.
going to go with
Wow.
Carnell Tate. I'm going to
Wow.
surprise you.
Oh my
Okay.
goodness. Wow.
And this is why. Okay, first of
Okay.
all, he catches everything. You know, he's done great. Last game he had over 100 yards. He gets open. He takes end rounds and picks up first downs. He catches the ball. he's reliable. But not only that, as we've been watching film, you know, because it's a whole thing when you're going in and looking at film and then watching plays and breaking them down. Watch his blocking, y'all. Watch Carnell Tate block on the edge. Watch him take out linebackers. Watch him take out DBs. That's stuff that people aren't seeing real time because you're watching the ball. I'm going to go with Carnell Tate. There's other obvious picks that I'm going to let you do, but that's going to be my outstanding,
Wow.
outstanding
Wow.
Scoopy Award recipient for this category.
Wow, I mean, Carnell Tate was long odds on Scooby. So if you had a betting ticket with Carnell Tate on outstanding offensive player for B Moses' pick, that was like a 50-1 selection. But
Yeah,
B Moses shocking the crowd with it. That is by far the most shocking Scoopy thus far.
yeah.
Um, I'm gonna go with JJ Smith. I know that's a shocking thing. I'm gonna go with JJ Smith just because I think JJ Smith should win the Heisman. I think JJ Smith. We've talked about this, but to win the Heisman, it's a combination of things. You need to be, the best player on the best team. You need to be in a season where there aren't a lot of other great options. And I
Yeah.
think all those things are kind of coming you know, into focus right now because there is no legendary running back. I mean, I don't. Can you even name name another running back on another team out there?
Um,
And you can't say
Justice
Marcus.
Haynes
You can't
from
Justice
Scum.
Justice Haynes.
Um, now you're not saying like great. You're just saying just name one,
Oh yeah,
right?
just name one. Just name anyone. Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I
it's
can't
hard.
I can't think of.
It's hard, isn't it? B
Yes, it is.
and like think about it. I can name guys from like Marcus
Dang,
Dupree or
that is a
Herschel
good
Walker
point. I
or
can't think
you
of
know
any.
no seriously like they can't there just isn't any of those guys. And you look at the quarterbacks and you're like, Garrett Nussbaumer or Carson Beck. Yeah, Carson Beck is the most formidable competition. Um, for JJ, obviously a well-known guy, kind of a minor brand, but I just think JJ being on Ohio State, being the defending national champion, being such a big part of the national championship last year, uncle's Geno Smith. I mean, he just checks every box of being a star. I think he should win the Heisman. And anybody who wins the Heisman automatically gets my Scoopie Award. That's just a rule. That's a rule here at the Scoopies. If you're going to win the Heisman, you got to get the Scoopie Award.
All right. So before we move on, let me ask you a question. And if you don't have the answer now, you can answer it later. In
Okay.
your mind, what is roughly the criteria for Jeremiah Smith to win it? What is his stats? What does his yards look like? And what does his touchdowns look like? And does he have to have a certain amount of rushing touchdowns or non-receiving touchdowns to go with it to legitimately have a chance?
I don't think he needs to have that. I think that those are nice. I think that, yeah, I mean, I think, anywhere in the 100 yards a game type of, category, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
16, 17 game schedule, 16, 1700 yards, um, you know, 15 to 20 touchdowns, maybe
Okay.
maybe a signature play where they let him throw one, or on defense he goes back on and defends against a Hail Mary, or you know what I'm saying, like that, feature him in a unique way, maybe a punt return, maybe something like that in terms of doing it. But I just think that he just needs to be JJ, and do his thing consistent, and Ohio State needs to keep winning. And if those things happen, I think he should win the Heisman. And frankly, I'm just not sure who else it would be. I mean, the Heisman is so much about reputation and name brand, and who do the people recognize? And I just think JJ's he's got by far the highest Q rating of any of those guys. And I think it'd be fitting that he win it. And I think Ohio State should start pushing that big time.
Yeah,
Just my
real
personal
quick.
opinion.
No, I agree. We definitely do. It's ridiculous that they're not already. But real quick, his stats so far: 315 yards receiving, 20 receptions, 3 touchdowns, 15.8 yards per reception. Last year, his long was the 70-yard pass, and this year's long was the 87-yarder against Grambling. So I think we're going to start to turn it on more as the offense opens up. And yeah, I can see. I think that's all realistic, especially with the landscape lacking. You know what I'm saying? I can see if he was going against like a super stud QB, two or three of them, like a Lamar Jackson was out there, then that's different. But you're right, man. It's just who's out there that's just the obvious. Oh my God, John Mateer. They got 3, 4 losses coming. But anyway, we can go into the next scoopy.
Okay, the next Scoopy. Most surprising defensive player. Who's been your biggest surprise on defense for 2025? 3 games into the season. Who has been the biggest surprise to be Moses, where you look at the defense and go, wow, didn't see that coming, or somebody who's contributed in unique ways to be Moses? Who gets the coveted surprise defensive player Scoopy?
See, this is tough because I've been so high on the defense and I've bigged up so many players that I don't know if I'm surprised, but um, I'm gonna go with Caden Curry. Caden Curry is going to get my Scoopy Award because even though in the offseason I bigged him up, his game and listen, the film guys, they're out there. They're looking at it and they're saying, hey, look at what Curry's doing. They're breaking it down and showing, like, hey, look at the disruption. And like Nevada said the other day, they're lining him up at nose. They're lining him up on the edge. I mean, they're moving him around, and he is being so disruptive. And so, because again, before the season, a lot of people weren't talking about Caden Curry. He was just a fringe guy, a smallish tweener type guy. But if he keeps on this clip, he's going to be very, very helpful for this defensive line, especially if they line him up. And just for y'all to know, they're lining Patricia in his defense. They're looking at matchups just like Ryan Day and Hartline is looking at matchups. They're going to move their guys around to a favorable matchup. And Curry, he's bigger, he's stronger, he's always been around the ball. I'm going to go with Curry. He gets my Scoopy Award for, I would say, surprise defensive player on this defense.
Well, just so you guys know, in the interest of full Scoopy disclosure here, um, I'm not going to pick a different guy just to be different from B Moses. I'm also going to go with Caden Curry. I mean, I could have gone with Jalen McClain, who I think
Yeah.
is makes a strong case in terms of doing it. But I think what Caden Curry is doing it's so worthy of note. I
Yeah.
mean, I think one game he had 10 tackles or what. I mean, it's crazy the production we're getting out of that guy right now. He's
Yep.
playing so well for Ohio State right now, and you're exactly right. I mean, when we talked about the preseason, most time people weren't even talking about him as a starter. You were talking about
Right.
Edric Houston and Cade McDonald and maybe Bo Atkinson and Kenyatta Jackson. You know what I'm saying? But
Yep.
Caden Curry, not that we didn't mention him, but he wasn't like, oh wow, Caden Curry, he's balling out right now. And it's really weird because he's not a physical specimen. You look at him, like, he doesn't have the classic, he's not long and angular like the ends. He's not, big and stubby like the interior guys.
Right.
He's not particularly bursty. He's not, but man, he's 100% effort,
Yep.
great technique, very, very smart. I mean, always anticipating what the guys are going to be doing, uses that spin move really well, gets back in running lanes and passing lanes. And yeah, Caden Curry is absolutely Scoopy worthy. And he got one from B Moses. He's getting one from Nevada Buck because I think he's been that good.
Yep. We definitely agree on that. So, and I don't think he's slowing down. I don't think he's going to take any steps back. I think he's only going to get better as his confidence grows. He gets more reps. So, once again, the hand ringing over the defensive line, we might have some dudes, y'all, who can step up, especially with this scheme that Patricia is deploying, because it's just different, y'all. It's different, and I'm excited. All right, who we got next, or what we got next?
We got most surprising offensive player for 2025. Who has been your biggest surprise on the offense for 2025? Who gets the Scoopy from B Moses is tough, but he's fair. He's always fair. Here, who are you going to give it to?
Mm. I mean, listen, I'm going to double up the Scoopy Award. It has to be Bo Jackson. It
Okay.
has to be Bo Jackson. I'm going with Bo Jackson. He's the most surprising because even though we saw, like I said, going to the practices, I saw it in person. You saw the burst, you saw the high school film. Hey, this dude could be a stud. Nevada's mentioned the injury factor. It was just like it's only a matter of time before I'm thinking maybe the end of the season he might earn some carries and help. Maybe there's an injury and he comes in. No, he is positioning himself as RB1 now. So to me, he has to be the most surprising and deserving of that Scoopy Award. I'm gonna give it to. He's got two in his award, case now for me.
Yeah, BMO's giving it to Bo Jackson. I think that's a worthy award. This one I wrestled with, man. I wrestled
Yeah.
with this one. Um, but Bo was not even one of my top two surprises, believe it or not.
Okay.
Just because I feel like his action's been a little limited, and I was looking for somebody who, so I was down to Julian Sane or Austin Seyerveld. Now Julian, just because I've seen so much of Julian,
Yeah.
I so the surprise part of it goes down just a little bit, but he's
Right.
really exceeded my expectations. I mean, he's been really, really good. But I'm going to give the Scoopy to Austin. Austin, the
Okay.
starting left tackle, a guy that, if you went back and you were trying to do the depth chart before the season, they obviously paid Ethan Owenau a lot of money to come and be the starting left tackle for Ohio State. And he didn't end up the starting left tackle for Ohio State. So you have this big portal addition, a guy that's really highly regarded by the NFL. Like, really, people were just like putting him in there, and Austin was so darn good that they had to move more to the left side. And I always rate defensive linemen by how often you hear their name called. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
generally, if you don't hear the name called, then their guy isn't doing much. Well, Austin's guys aren't doing much because Austin is just erasing folks out there on the left side. Um, for a lightly regarded recruit to come in and be the stalwart starting left tackle when people, really had him kind of penciled in as an interior guy or at best maybe a right tackle. Huge surprise to me. So Austin's going to get he's going to get my Scoopy Award for most surprising offensive player.
That's good. That's a good pick, and you're right because it's not in the forefront of your mind because you don't hear his name often, which is a great thing for offensive lineman. So that's a really, really good pick. And he needs to be He needs to continually get his flowers because he was not applauded when he was, first came in. He's worked his way up from lowly 3-star that nobody was feeling or acknowledging to Iron Buckeye. Because that's one thing Nevada was like, okay, man, Saraveld's Iron Buckeye, man. Look at him go. To actually then take the left tackle spot, that's an amazing trajectory. So great pick. I agree with you.
Well, I appreciate that. Well, this next one is going to be tough. This is kind of a modified category, but we're going to go to best coach on the staff. But Matt Patricia has been eliminated. You cannot pick Matt Patricia as the
Oh.
name because Matt's going to get a special recognition award later on in the show. But the best other coach, not named Matt Patricia. So we make this category a little bit more difficult right now. We're trying to
Mm.
get B Moses to try to do it because B Moses was ready.
Oh.
He was ready. He was ready to scream out Matty P. And we're like, nope, can't do that. So best coach, not named Matt Patricia on the staff.
Mm. Oh, that's tough. There's 3 position groups that I'm battling in my mind right now. But I gotta pick one. I gotta pick one. I don't know. This might be the toughest one. I thought the Caleb Downs and Reese one was the toughest. This might be the toughest, bro. Um, okay, I'm going to give me 15 seconds.
Okay.
Ugh. All right. I'm gonna have to go with the offensive line, Tyler Bowen. I'm gonna
Wow.
go with Tyler Bowen.
There you go.
Such a tough decision with OG Watt out there with the secondary, and then of course the I was gonna say the linebackers, James Laurinaitis. And listen, I know even the D line. Look, Tyrone Malone graded out a champion. All right, our D line has been solid, and I'm saying that considering that most people thought they were going to suck and they were the weakness. So he deserves a little bit of a shout out. But yeah, Tyler Bowen in this O line, the pass pro has been great. You can see them opening up holes. I think it's only going to get better with Ethan emerging and how they figured that out over the bye week. This O line, and remember, I had them winning the Joe Moore Award. Is it the Joe? Yeah, the Joe Moore Award. That was one of my bold predictions. So, final answer: Scoopie goes to Tyler Bowen.
Wow. Tyler Bowen stepping in early, getting a Scoopie there right off the bat. That's a bold pick by B Moses. Um, my Scoopie in this category is it's gonna go to one of your other selections, a guy that you passed up on, that was in your final thing. I'm gonna go with James Laurinaitis
Yeah,
and the linebacker group. I mean, the linebacker group was really kind of a mess, kind of considered, I won't say it was a clown show, but it was certainly not a strength of the team. They upped their game. I look at the young guys they've got in there. The Peyton Pierces and the Riley Pettijohns and the Alfords, and I look at those guys and I'm like, wow, those guys are going to be unbelievable. But then you look at your starters, and like you said, I mean, Arvo Reese, Arvo Reese has probably played himself out of my lineup for the 2026 Ohio State Buckeyes because he's probably going to be a
right.
first round pick in the NFL draft.
I
And
mean,
yeah, I mean,
oof,
I mean, he's just a devastating defensive player. And you remember this one is not a surprise because we talked about Arvo Reese. Remember during the preseason we talked about who's going to lead the team in sacks and who's going to. We're talking about Arvo Reese, Arvo Reese, Arvo Reese. So not a surprise to us, but he's been so good. And when somebody's so good, you got to give the flowers,
yeah,
as appropriate. And I think the job. I knew that when Laurinaitis got that job, that he'd be great. I think James Laurinaitis is a future head coach. Like when we talk about ex Buckeyes and how they would do as head coaches, and I've talked about Marcus Freeman. I'm not that high. Luke Fickle. I'm not that high on. You know, I think Laurinaitis could be a tremendous
I
head
agree.
coach.
I agree.
So we're lucky when we have him. Such a smart guy, such a attention to detail guy, and he gets a Scoopie. He gets a Scoopie from me, and I'm sure he'll be very excited about that. He was a 3-time captain, 2-time All American. One of the, I don't know if he was a Super Bowl champion. I know he's and obviously, I think it was one of the career leaders in tackles for the Rams, and now he's got a Scoopie Award. So, his career is pretty much complete now with the addition of the
Right.
Scoopie. Yeah,
Yeah,
very
that's
excited.
a great pick. That's a great pick. I'm actually seeing if he has a Super Bowl ring because I'm wondering. No, he doesn't. So they won when he wasn't either before or after, I believe. But anyway, that was a good question because I was wondering. But that is a good pick. And somebody in the chat, who that in the chat say, Gio did B Moses no love for LJ. I gave him love. I gave him the honorable mention. Like he was worth bringing up, man, with the D line being much maligned before the season, and they're holding their own. And like I said, Tywone Malone has graded out a champion 2 straight weeks in a row. When you grade out a champion, that doesn't mean every play you make is perfect, but you're doing your job, and that's big for a backup D tackle when Edric Houston's not in there for I don't know if it's doghouse purposes or whatever, and you hold your own. That's pretty big. But anyway, good pick with James Laurinaitis, Nevada.
Well, now we're gonna go to one of our final scoopies here, our final scoopies for the evening. And
Okay.
this is this is where the categories get really, really tough. And I know that you're gonna have to really kind of dig deep into your memory banks in terms of thinking of this, but
Hmm.
fattest future opponent. Who is the fattest future opponent that we will be playing at any
Ooh.
point during this season? Look at things. You can pick somebody from that we've played before, so they can make it from Texas, Grambling, or Ohio U, or any future opponent that we may have. You're looking for fattest future opponent, fattest player that we've opponent that we played or will play this season. Who are you going
Looking
with?
at the schedule now, do we play Rayola? No, we don't, because he would be one of my number one picks. Let me look at this schedule. Oh, looks like it's becoming more and more clear as I look at the schedule who the fattest is. It has to be Fat Underwood up in Ann Arbor, doesn't it? He gets the Scoopie. He gets the Scoopie. That's it.
he and I think that we're gonna have to come up with like this could be like an annual award where he gets it. We'll just call it the Underwood where he gets this because he's so fat. And like we're getting for that, and for him, like the Scoopie, it's like an ice cream Scoopie for him because clearly that is a guy that is not passing up on the desserts or whatever it is. So
Oh,
yeah, so fattest future opponent, Bryce Underwood. And he may get a lifetime achievement award here as we do this thing annually there. Unless he goes slim fast. So yeah, so that's all the categories that I've got tonight. And I just want to I want to thank everybody for their contributions. I know I thank B Moses for his great thought, giving this thing thought. I know that you've been worried all day that you were going to get stumped or anything like that, but you managed to kind of dig through there, and you gave some very thoughtful answers. We didn't always agree. We did agree on a couple, but we
yeah,
didn't always agree on everything like that. But the Scoopies, hey, if we have more categories in the future, we'll go then. We'll revisit the Scoopies. We may even kind of amend things and we do things like that. But for now, the Scoopie, the 2025 Scoopies are officially closed, and
yeah.
that's
Because we
very
we got
exciting.
another bye week too, y'all. We have another bye week. And
Yes, we do.
so, we will circle back. I'm sure there's going to be more plays to be made, more guys to emerge. Shoot, who knows? Bo Jackson might have a stack by then, 1,000 yards.
Oh, I
We'll
know.
see. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, this was fun. Definitely fun. And we can definitely revisit and really compare now to what we decide in the future. But yeah, I'm excited about this daggone review, man. This back to so for those who are watching, let me go ahead and just set the table, Nevada, because if you're new to the show tonight, or if you've missed previous shows for the context, Nevada shamelessly admitted that he's never seen Back to the Future 2 and 3. He's seen one and he loves it, but he's been too nervous to watch 2 and 3 because he didn't want it to be bad. And and it's heartbreaking because it's the greatest trilogy of all time, arguably. So anyway, so that's the background of this. He finally watched Back to the Future 2. So without any further ado, we're going to hear Nevada Buck's official review of Back to the Future 2. All right.
Okay, Back to the Future 2. Yeah, now keep in mind that I did watch this. I did watch the movie last night, so it's fresh in my mind. Big fan of Back to the Future number one, obviously, kind of iconic film. I thought Back to the Future 2 was just okay. I thought it
Ooh,
was just okay. I know. Let me give you my reasons why I thought it was just okay.
okay.
Um, I I thought that some of the gags and some of the sequences were just obviously just like the exact same thing as Back to the Future One. Like Back to the Future One, when he goes there and he gets behind the car and he's on the skateboard, he takes the kid's thing and he
Mhm.
makes it into a skateboard and he's flipping behind the thing and he flips behind the car and he gets out of the way and he jumps on the skateboard and then he hits the manure truck and all the manure goes into Biff's truck and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
in this one, he goes in the future and he gets a hoverboard and he does the same thing with the hoverboard this time. So for it's a hoverboard and he goes the hoverboard and he goes there and he goes in this and the hits and the manure goes into the truck. You know what I'm saying? I just thought that what let me just explain to you what I like about sequels. A sequel that I really liked or a two that I really liked or a three, like Godfather 2 wasn't like the story of Godfather 1. It was like a prequel and it kind of set up how he became the Godfather and introduced new
Yeah.
characters and new stuff like that. Or Toy Story 2, same characters but just completely different scenario kind of on the characters right there. So I like that. I just thought that the sequencing and everything on the movie, it seemed a little formulaic. It seemed a little familiar to me from the first movie. And I I didn't like that as much as I hoped that I would like that. That's first point. Second
Okay.
point is for people that haven't seen it, it's a cliffhanger. Like they finish two and then they force you to go watch three to kind of
Yeah.
finish the movie. And I
Yeah.
hate cliffhangers. I don't like cliffhangers. I like movies that kind of end. Like one ended and then they had that neat sequence where the doctor pulled up, and you weren't sure if that was really opening up a two, or if it was just kind of like a cute thing about, hey, him and Jennifer are getting married, and it's your kids, and blah 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 blah, that type of thing. But this one sets up you have to watch three to finish the movie, and I wasn't crazy about that in terms, and it's getting a little confusing with all like the multiverse thing. It's kind of like Spider-Man in the multiverse when they had like
Yeah.
They had Benny Blanco and they had like four different Spider-Men. You know what I'm saying? That it's
Yeah.
like the Andrew McCarthy or whatever the guy's name was, and Tobey Maguire and Benny Blanco and Bad Bunny, and they had like four different Spider-Men,
Bad
and
buddy.
I didn't know who the Spider-Men were. So this one, there's like a multiverse, and there's like a lot of Marty McFlys and a lot of there's just a lot of people floating around, and so it was getting a little confusing. And I can only imagine in three that it gets even more confusing because there's a lot of people floating around in it. So haven't watched three yet. I will watch three to kind of complete the trilogy. But for me, I'm only going to give it a B. I'm only going to give it a B. The original A plus. Going to give the second one a B, maybe a B plus because it was fun. It was a fun movie.
Definitely a fun
The
movie.
Gray Sports Almanac was good.
Yeah, you
Um,
finally got to see that bit in full. In full.
I got to see that in full. Also, the whole thing about chicken, I had never really seen. I didn't really understand it. I understood he didn't like being called chicken, but that's a big part of number
Yeah.
two. Like that's like the big central theme of number two. And so yeah, so familiar, a little formulaic for me, but a nice movie. Gonna give it a B.
All right. So I got some follow up questions
Okay.
as your interviewer. My Cisco put
Yes.
my Cisco and Ebert hat on.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So all right. So couple of things. First of all, before I ask my question, my second question, what? Because you mentioned some things that you like that kind of that you did what really wasn't feeling. What was the funnest part of the movie? Like, what was the best part of back? Because B plus is still really good, although I'm disappointed it didn't get an A because I love that movie. But what is the highlight, the funnest parts of that movie to you?
I like the whole Biff Tannen character. I like
Yeah,
Biff's
Biff is great.
interaction, between old Biff and young Biff, and
Yeah,
just Biff. A lot more Biff, please. You know what I'm saying? That like
yeah,
I like Biff. I found like the his kid, the Marty McFly kid character was kind of annoying. Like kind of like
yeah,
I wasn't buying into that character right there, but I like Biff, and I like Biff's little cohorts there, Casey Sabanko and those other two nerds that are always wearing the glasses and always chasing him around and stuff like that. And I like that, and I like his mom. I like his the
yeah.
mom character there, and that's good. So wish we saw more of Dad, but Dad apparently had been killed by Biff, and this movie is a
Right,
spoiler, but then not killed, but then he was upside
right.
down
Yeah,
hanging. And so there was a lot of things kind of going on right there with that. But yeah, Biff. Every scene that Biff was in, thoroughly enjoyed the Biff character very much.
yeah. And one character that I love to me is it consistently is a star is Doc Brown. I love
Clearly,
Doc Brown's character.
yeah.
He does a great job. And then, of course, in three, Doc Brown is probably more prominent or featured more, arguably. So, somebody could debate that, but he's featured more prominently in three. And
Okay.
listen, I think three is good. I mean, I love a western. I love a comedy western. So I don't think you're gonna because I know the consensus is three is the least favorite, but it's like to me, it's like Bentley, Bugatti, Lambo. Okay, you got to have a third choice because I love that trilogy. But also, I wanted to ask you a question,
Yes, sir.
and even the chat about this movie because I was one of those people who it took a long time to watch the series The Wire. Right? I
Yep.
had heard so many, oh my God, this is the best show ever. This is great. You haven't seen The Wire. Oh my God, you ain't seen The Wire. And when I finally watched The Wire, I just thought it was okay. I wasn't the hype that I heard about it didn't match up with the watch. And I'm not saying it was a bad show. There were some moments. Good actors, good, some scenes. I'm not saying it was trash, but I just didn't catch all the hype. I guess I was disappointed because it was hyped up. Now, some people kind of said, well, B, the reason why you didn't catch it as much is because you waited too late to watch it. So the magic and the vibe and energy of when it first came out, you missed that. So that's probably why it's not as good to you. I disagree, but that's what they're saying. So I'm going to ask you, do you think because you've waited do you think if you would have watched part two when it first came out, do you think your outlook would have been different? Because that was a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? Like your
Well,
taste changes, your thoughts change. Go ahead. Go
uh,
ahead. You see what I'm
yeah.
getting at?
Well, yeah. No. Well, one, I want to address something to the elephant in the room. I felt the same way about The Wire. I felt the same way.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
I watched The Wire, and I found certain episodes of it really, unbelievable and engaging, and other stuff just I like
Yeah.
it just drug on and on and on. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And it was so like yeah, The Wire did not live up to the hype for me. But then I think about it, like, because I never watched an episode of Seinfeld when it was on TV.
Yeah.
Okay, I only watched Seinfeld in reruns. Okay, I never saw an episode of The Office when it was on TV. I only watched it in
Uh,
reruns. Okay,
yeah.
Loved both of it. You know what I'm saying? So I can watch stuff later and be out of the magical realm. Like I didn't watch Game of Thrones when Game of Thrones.
Yeah, me
I never
either.
watched a
Good point.
single season, a single point of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Now I've watched the entire thing four times, and I could start a fifth one, right now because I just think that that's just magic. You know what I'm saying? And I
Yeah,
can't imagine what it would have been like to have been watching those things, fresh off the barrel, like those
right.
viewing parties and all. I mean, that would have just been crazy hype in terms of going on. So I don't think that I need that to do there because I've been able to enjoy other stuff. Um, but maybe, I mean, maybe it's a valid concern. But yeah, I just thought it was okay, just okay. And but I'm gonna watch three. I'm gonna kind of grade the trilogy, and we'll kind of go from there because I do like the westerns. Doc Brown definitely steals. He's
Yeah,
terrific as well.
he's great.
Yeah, he's great, and I like the time travel side. It's like more time. Give me more time travel. So going back to the old west could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I think we're going to, based off the chat engagement and just our sheer glee and fun with this type of stuff, we need to integrate this. Because again, a few things that people all over the world bond over: music, food, and movies. I mean, it's just it brings the world together. So we definitely want to kind of integrate this every now and then and discuss, because this becomes very interesting. And yes, Stilly Mac, Game of Thrones. I did not watch that right away. Breaking Bad and Game of Thrones is both up there for me, high. Okay, and I did not watch either right away. And I know season 8 is, everybody hates season 8. I get that. But I'm telling you, the combination of acting, writing, um, action, suspense, all the integrated storylines is just next to, like, there's nothing better with Game of Thrones. You can take out season 8. I think The Long Night was a good episode. I think there's some good stuff about season 8, but 1 through 7 is absolute heat. If you have not seen Game of Thrones, you're missing out. It's just an amazing show. So I just wanted to say that real quick, Nevada.
Yeah, I mean, Game of Thrones. I would hardly, if you have not watched Game of Thrones, including the final season, you must do it. And I say that about very, very, very few things because I think most things don't live up to the hype, like The
Yeah.
Wire. You know what I'm saying? But Game of Thrones absolutely blows it away, man. Like if you watch that show and you kind of the writing is so sublime and the acting is just so good and you just never you don't know what's going to happen next. But the stuff that happens isn't like stupid or it's not like
Yeah.
illogical or whatever. I mean, it's a fantasy thing. It's it's an incredible thing. I mean, I just like I said, it was just absolutely fabulous and tour de force by HBO for sure.
Yep. And I'll end that part by saying my favorite character. Well, I have a few favorite characters, but I love Lord Tyrion. Peter
Yeah,
Dinklage character is amazing on there. And then Queen Cersei. You know when you're doing a good job, when people at the Comic Cons and when they see you out in public hate your guts because you played that role so well. And it's just incredible. Incredible show. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, Breaking Bad is incredible too. Incredible. So how do you feel about Breaking Bad, Nevada?
Um, I mean, yeah, love Breaking Bad. I've watched Breaking Bad. I've watched Better Call Saul.
Yeah.
Probably need to
Oh,
give both of them a rewatch. I have
yeah.
not watched them as much as I've watched Game of Thrones because in the rewatch of Game of Thrones, I picked up on stuff more stuff than
Yes.
I've seen the first time around. So,
Yeah.
I think I need to give Breaking Bad a second watch. But you know, I mean, you know, the Lalo Salamanca character right there. Oh, I mean, it's so good. I mean,
Uh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Don't get me started on that. We could be here all night talking about my favorite things from that. But yeah, but Game of Thrones, like I said, you have not seen it. It will live up to the hype. Invest the time in it. You'll definitely enjoy it.
Yeah, Geo did 42. Listen, don't be one of those people who want to be a contrarian and say, I'm gonna continue not to watch this just to spite all the masses. I'm telling you, brother, watch it. Okay. It is fire. Okay. And it builds, let it build, and it will. And also, I think was it Stilly Matt? he just mentioned Stranger Things. I was late to Stranger Things. Listen, I paid that no attention. I just brushed it off like Stranger Things. That don't look interesting. I start watching that about, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago. I'm all caught up now, waiting for, I believe, season 5. Fire. Stranger Things is fire, bro. I don't know if you've seen that, but it's a really, really good show. So
Yeah. I've watched a few episodes with my kids, and it's really kind of weird and kind of
yeah,
wacky, and I don't
yes,
I don't really understand what's kind of going on, and maybe I feel like maybe I missed stuff early on
yeah,
that would
you did.
explain it. So I might need to start over.
Yeah, you got it. And Winona Ryder, is she kills it her role. And who's the dude? He's starting to really pop up in movies. I don't remember his name. He plays the sheriff. Really
This
good
yeah
actor. You know what
yeah
I'm
I know
talking about?
exactly. I know who you're
Yeah,
talking about. I don't know his name. Yeah.
yeah. But it's just a really good show. I was very surprised at how good it was. The suspense, the writing is good, all of that stuff. So anyway, we do got a super chat. Jim Jackson, what's up? Thanks for the 9.99. B Nevada to add to add the Last Dragon to his 80s must-watch movie list so he can understand your references. Leroy. OH Nevada.
I
You've seen the Last Dragon though, haven't you? I thought you have.
I haven't seen the Last
Oh,
Dragon. I do understand the reference. I do get the popular pop reference. I get that.
yes.
I have not seen the movie.
Yeah, so let me be clear about something here. Okay. I'm just gonna be honest, Jim. Now listen, I love that movie. But Nevada, you know how some movies you grew up watching as a kid, they were great and you loved it, but you rewatch it today, and you're just like, man, this is kind of trash. That's what The Last Dragon is. But and when I mean trash, I mean like the production, the
Yeah, yeah,
storyline.
yeah.
It's not good.
Yeah, right.
Right. It's not good, but the characters, the one-liners, even the 80s music, and just some of the scenes, it's all classic, nostalgic stuff. So I would still put that on your 80s watch list. I agree, Jim. And also, I remember every young boy had a crush on Vanity. Okay. Just remember the name Vanity, Nevada, when you watch their movie. You
Yeah. Like you need to tell me who Vanity is. Like,
oh,
yeah, oh yeah. She
that's
was
right.
on my. Yeah,
That's
come on.
right. She was
I'm
known
old.
more than just that movie. My
Oh,
bad.
yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah, she was cold. So anyway, that's a good one, Jim. Listen, I love this category. I'm always referencing movies and stuff like that. Somebody brought up Blazing Saddles. Blazing Saddles is one of the greatest movies ever made. Ever made. Do you hear me? We will fight over that. Do you agree, Nevada?
Oh yeah, no, I mean all the Mel Brooks stuff is genius, but that is
Yes.
certainly that's the
Spaceballs.
oh, it's just but Blazing Saddles is just it's the height of comedic
Perfect.
genius. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's perfect. It's so inappropriate. It's just absolutely perfect.
Now let me ask you, would that survive in today's climate? If that movie
Well,
came out today,
well, just because remember the whole thing is it's a parody. It's
right.
mocking racism. It's also by highlighting racism and stuff, and or in everything that it does. But yeah, I don't know if yeah, I'd like to think that it would be allowed to be done, but I think a lot of good comedies wouldn't be allowed to be done today because they're so
Yeah.
inappropriate. But that one was super. They talk about the movie The Office or the TV show The Office that they couldn't do The Office now because
Yeah.
Michael Scott was too inappropriate, which I think is really a shame because I think that stuff was incredibly funny, and Blazing Saddles certainly is right up there as one of the best comedies of all time.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Stilly, was it Stilly who said this? And we'll close out because I can literally go another 2 hours talking about movies. Stilly said sports movies is for another night. Bro, that is a 2 hour show. Okay, sports movies. Like I'm not even gonna get into it because that's just a crazy category, and I'm very curious to hear people's favorite sports movies, and everything. That's football movies, basketball movies, baseball, all of them combined. Because honestly, you could do its own category. Shoot, football movies is an
Wait a second. Well, I know we're going to close, but I just want to ask you a quick
yeah.
question. Have you ever seen the movie The Best of Times?
I haven't. You brought this up some months ago. I
You
have
have to
not
watch.
seen that.
If
Let me
I'm gonna
Google
watch,
this.
you got to watch The Best of Times. It is the greatest football movie of all time, and it's
Best of
so freaking
times.
fun. The Best of Time. Robin Williams, Kurt Russell as Reno Hightower. Come
This
on,
is a movie or a show?
it's a
Oh,
movie. It's a
86,
yeah.
1986.
Yes,
Is that Robin Williams?
yes,
Oh wow, there's some actors in here. Okay, now
yeah, yeah.
where in the heck can I find this?
It's got to. I'm not sure where it's streaming or whatever, but invest the time, watch that movie, and then just get back to me on that one.
All right, let me see real quick. Best of time straight. Okay, Tubi? Is it on Tubi for real? Tubi and okay, I got Amazon Prime. Okay, cool. Bet.
Okay,
All right,
all right,
fair enough. I
okay,
will watch that. I will watch
okay.
that.
Let me know what you
Cool.
think.
Yes, I definitely will. All right, listen, man. Fun show. Super fun show. Appreciate the chat. Y'all going hard as per usual. Love the comments. And we're going to have to revisit this. We're going to have to integrate this in every now and then and pick this back up because this is way too fun. But I definitely appreciate y'all's input. And so, yeah, that's my homework assignment. And then Nevada, when you get a chance, watch The Last Dragon. And listen, we can challenge each other to watch movies we haven't seen. I think that's fun. So if you have other things, hit me with it, and vice versa. And we'll roll with that.
I can't wait. I'm can't wait to see your review, and I'll be giving you reviews shortly on Back to the Future 3.
All right, cool. Sounds good. All right, y'all. Listen, love y'all, Buckeye Scoop family, Buckeye Nation. We will see y'all next time. Peace. Go Buckeyes.